Good afternoon, Mets fans, and welcome to a Tuesday edition of Driving with Mr. Met. I am Mr. Met, and the Mets are 8-1 after another victory last night over the Miami Marlins, excuse me. And boy, I mean, I get the feeling like this team just isn't going to lose. I mean, of course they're going to, but man, it's like everything is going about as well as can possibly be. Outside of that one Steven Matz bad start, this is the best start to a Mets season in recent memory. Not just in recent memory, but period. Statistically, to the point where I'm almost a little bit nervous about how well things are going right now. The pessimistic Mets fan in all of us has to be a little bit concerned at just how unbelievably well the season has started. At 8-1, they're off to their best start in forever. Mickey Callaway's start as a new manager matches that of only Joe Torre as a new manager coming on to the Mets, winning 7 out of the first 8 games. And after last night, it may actually be better than what Joe Torre did. I don't know that statistic off the top of my head, but I did see that yesterday. It's at a point now where even the Mets were tweeting their record. The 7-1 start in '85 led to a 98 win season. The 7-1 start in '06 led to a 97 win season. The 7-1 start in 18 equals question mark, and that's something the Mets are putting out themselves. And that's where the pessimist in me is just sort of like, all right, let's not get carried away here. We are just a week and a half or so into the season. But still, like I said, everything's just going so well. Last night's game was a win, of course. But Noah Syndergaard wasn't dominant. He was good. He lowered his ERA. Dealt with a blister problem on his finger, which explained why he sort of lost control or lost command in the 5th and 6th innings after really dominating the first 4. And looking like he was on pace to easily be able to reach 8 innings, if not a complete game. But that notwithstanding, I mean, he battled through against a weaker lineup, of course. But that weaker lineup actually out-hit the Mets last night. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many hits. All that matters is how many runs are scored. And, of course, the Mets were able to score 4 of them. Once again, Adrian Gonzalez contributing. Drove in the first run last night. Ahmed Rosario contributing, Jay Bruce contributing. This continues to be a really balanced attack, and the one sort of not to say weak link, but the one piece that really hasn't caught on yet is Yoenis Cespedes, who during the broadcast last night we learned is dealing with flu-like symptoms, and I suspect that he will not be in the lineup tonight. Cespedes, that is, and I think we'll see either Nimmo or Lagares get the start. I believe the Mets are facing a left-hander tonight, so it stands to reason that perhaps even Jay Bruce will get the night off, and we might see a young outfield of Nimmo, Lagares, and Conforto left to right. But we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. But back to last night's game, again, a very balanced attack by the Mets. I think they mustered 6 hits total, or 5 hits total. Not a lot of hits. Out hit by the Marlins by 3, and Marlins had 9 hits. It's sort of sad to watch Marlins Stadium, or see Marlins Stadium as empty as it's ever been, and not that it's ever been really full. I mean, outside of the All-Star game last year, has that stadium ever sold out? I suspect it hasn't. And looking at the way that franchise has treated its fan base, you can sort of see and understand why the fans would be skeptical to invest any time in the franchise. We complain as Mets fans that the ownership doesn't care about us, and boy, things could be an awful lot worse. Look at the Marlins. But anyway, the Mets do get a victory last night. The Mets have DeGrom going tonight, and really have no reason not to be able to win tonight as well, even with perhaps a lesser lineup on the field. And then, of course, tomorrow, Zach Wheeler makes his return or debut with the team, marking the first time ever that these 5 stud ace pitchers are going to be performing back-to-back games. That's awesome. It's awesome. It's long overdue. This is what we've been sort of salivating over as Mets fans for the better part of the last 4 or 5 years, and now it's here. And to have it capped off with consecutive wins, excuse me, that's just going to make it even sweeter. And let's just hope that happens. Right before I pressed record, I saw on Twitter Matt Ehalt had posted something about Corey Oswalt being called up from Vegas. That there was no corresponding roster move announced yet, but it's looking like Corey Oswalt would join the team. I don't know why or in reaction to what. There was a note that it will not impact and does not impact Wheeler's start tomorrow, so perhaps there's an injury that we don't know about and someone will be hitting the disabled list. I can't see anyone being demoted out of the bullpen right now outside of Robles, who, although he did give up 2 hits last night, has been fine. So he hasn't been a problem at all. So interesting to see what happens and why Corey Oswalt will be joining the Mets. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Nothing bad to say, nothing but good things and good vibes and good smiles and whatnot regarding this 2018 Mets season, young though it may be. So I thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow to recap tonight's DeGrom start and hopefully the 9th victory of the young season. So until then, thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met. And as always, let's go Mets.